day 17. Oh, I am so excited. This is super cool. There's so much I want to say. First of all, I've been planning on doing this video for the last couple of hours. I've been up for hours, up since 6. And well, depending on what time zone you're in, I've been up for at least 6 hours. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this video early. This is gonna be a super early video. It's gonna be one of the earliest. Now I could say this is the earliest. And then, you know how humans, we like to move through boundaries. I would have had another goal to reach to make one even earlier. And then it ended up being, I had all this beautiful optimism. I'm like, ooh, today, let me use a microphone. I don't know if you noticed this. I have a microphone on me, a really professional microphone. I'm so excited. I don't know how I sound from your end. I've had this microphone for years. I purchased it years ago. It's a Lark 150, I guess that's what you would call it. This is not a commercial. It's a Lark 150 Hollyland. And I purchased it to go to Haiti when I was teaching yoga and meditation at a camp in the mountains. And I was gonna use it so I could videotape, so I could do some live streaming. And it never really happened because one, you wanna be really careful about videotaping in Haiti or maybe any foreign country, because a lot of times they might feel like you're using their images and it doesn't help them, it just helps you. And the second reason is the Wi-Fi. It wasn't gonna be something that was feasible for me to do live streaming there. So I ended up really never using it. And I've had it for years and I'm not super techie, so I just kind of left it alone. However, I want to keep showing you all that every day I don't take your views. I noticed that you guys have been really going all aboard with the website. I was just on the website. I think I told you yesterday that I had so much to do, one of which was to fix and update the website. And then when I went on to look at my statistics, my analytics, and I was like, oh my God, there's so many people on here. You guys are making me so happy. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope you're enjoying this challenge. It is exciting for me to see all of you here. I hope you're learning a lot. I want to continue hearing from you, seeing your videos. And let me mention the book club again. This book is so off the chain. And someone that I love really dearly is the one that told me about it. And that's the reason why it means so much to me. But more than that, it's such a great read. It's like a real journey through yoga. And you really get to understand why you're in it. Like if you don't understand it by the time you start reading this, you're really gonna dive deep. I keep mentioning that dive deep because I think we want to do more than asanas. We want to do more than pranayama, breathing. We want to take our yoga practice off the mat. So that's why this book is so important. And we're gonna have different books to read, but this is the first. So please get Light on Yoga by BKS Iyengar and start reading and join us for the book club. That's gonna be so beautiful and so it's gonna take the book to the next level because we'll get to talk in communion with each other. So I'm gonna put this down and yeah, we're gonna get started. Okay. So, today's pose. All right, first of all, let's do some house cleaning. I'm super excited. I have a microphone today. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I've been wanting to use this mic forever. This is I hope you guys can hear me. I hope with all of that being said, I'm not silent now because I misprogrammed it. Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me so that each time I can make this better and better. Day 17, YITDOTS Fitness Dance Yoga Challenge. One pose, one purpose. I'm so happy. I also changed the room around a little bit, so now I can actually walk a little closer without feeling like my head is cut off. So I'm feeling a little happy. Okay, all right. I also applied for a job and I didn't get it. And I was a little teary-eyed. I'm like, ugh. Why did they take this job off the website? Because I applied thinking it was available, but it was just filled 2 weeks ago. And I was like, no, Tracy, You have to calm down, look for the next available position that you want to do and that you qualify for, and keep it moving. Because I want to show my daughter I'm persistent and I'm moving forward and I'm not lingering on just past trauma, even if the trauma was like 2 minutes ago. I want to show her that I'm doing this. So I was happy and I did it. I submitted a new application and now I feel really happy because the position that I'm applying for is actually available because they contacted me to tell me they've updated the site. So this makes me happy because I think this is all a part of our yogic practice. When we fall, when we try hard to get into a pose, when we accomplish a pose, I think it teaches us about who we are innately, not just the pose itself, however, how we maneuver within our lives. So I hope you take your practice off the mat continuously. So one pose, one purpose. We have our one pose today. Normally, I don't announce what the pose is because I want it to be a surprise after our, sun salutations, the Surya Namaskars. However, today, I want to explain why we're going to do the whole Surya Namaskar, the 4 rounds that we used to do, and then we're gonna do Surya Namaskar A and B because we really need to open up our body, our hips, our shoulders, our back. So we have a little bit of a longer practice today. If you're not able to stay, that's okay. You can come back to it later and do it piece by piece, piecemeal it. I forget who said that, piecemeal it. Piecemeal it together until it's all done. So today we are doing dancer's pose, or sometimes called king dancer's pose, or sometimes called dancing Shiva. So this, and sometimes confused with standing bow, and I'll show you the difference. And you might not be able to get into a dancer's pose, however, you might be able to get into a bow pose, which they're very similar. So we will be able to work through both of those. All right, knowing that we have dancer's pose, I want us to get started at the top of our mat. I even have my sweater, like, the door that kept making that chink, clink, 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 clink sound because of the wind and the chickens tapping on it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to keep the door closed. However, I'm someone that loves feng shui. I like looking at something beautiful. And when the doors open outside and I'm looking through the glass door and I'm seeing the trees and I'm seeing the flowers and the cars passing by and I'm seeing the chickens, it brings me a level of happiness. So I'm like, oh, what do I do? So I tied my sweater. It's a rinky-dink sweater, so it's really like flexible and malleable. And I tied it, and now it's holding the door and the coat closet together so the door doesn't slam. So I figured out a different technique. Okay, anyhow, let me move back because we are shooting on YouTube, and I saw my head inside of the fan, and I'm not a fan of that. So I'm back. Okay. You probably don't know this, but this mat is not just a yoga mat. It also lets me know where I can stand. Okay, let's get started. I'm super happy, super excited because we have a very fascinating pose. And outside of tree pose that I was telling you about when we first got started, dancer's pose is one of those poses for me. And I'm surprised we haven't done it already, being that this is YITDOTS. Yoga is the dance of the soul. I'm surprised we haven't done it already because this is dance yoga. So why not do dance pose, dancer's pose? So we're doing it today. Continue to visit the website and continue to ask questions. And I appreciate everyone that's purchasing services and looking to really go to another level, not for themselves, but also for their communities. For purchasing programs that are good for your groups are also going to be beneficial to you. So I hope today gives you another layer to your practice. Let's do it. Okay. We're at the top of our mats. Feet about hip distance apart. Squeezing the belly button into your spine. Tailbone down. We're going to start off with Surya Namaskar A, 2 rounds, and then we'll go into Surya Namaskar B for another 2 rounds. Beautiful. So take a deep breath in. Float the hands up. And slowly roll and lower the arms down to heart center. Pressing your thumbs into your sternum, rolling your shoulders up, back, and down, sending that heart chakra forward. This is where we will set the intentions for today's practice. What you'd like to receive, what you'd like to become, what would you like to learn about yourself? Okay. So wherever you are, ground your feet within the four corners, the pinky toe, the big toe, the two sides of your heels, and really lift up off the kneecaps and stand up tall. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Tailbone down, squeezing that belly button into your spine. Keep your breath in motion. Your head stacked on top of your shoulders. Okay. So this is where we say our intentions 3 times. You can say it aloud, or you can say it within your heart. I will speak mine aloud. My intention is to be silent when necessary. My intention is to be silent when necessary. My intention is to find strength through silence. Beautiful. I hope you're done with yours. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and float the arms up and back. Really pressing your biceps into your ears. And then take a deep breath in and fold over your body. Take a slight bend in the knee while bringing the crown of the head down towards the mat. Try to stretch out your legs, even if your knee keeps a slight bend. Stretch out your legs so you can really feel this in the hamstrings and in the calves. From here, shake the head no. Shake the head yes. Keeping the breath in motion. And pause. Gently bring your nose closer to your knees. Breathe in. Send the right foot back as far as you can. Plant the knees down, untuck the toes. Lift the chest up. And I want you to round your hands in a circle and give me a slight arch back as we're preparing to open up the body for dancer's pose. Take a deep breath in, cactus the arms open, and release the hands back to the floor. Plant the hands down, left foot comes back, fingertips are nice and wide, head looking down towards the mat, squeezing the belly button to the spine, squeeze the glutes nice and tight, bring the knees down, push the hips back, and then rock forward, 8-point pose. And rise up. Upward facing dog or cobra. Create that beautiful back bend, opening up the thyroid glands. Pressing the tops of your feet down on the mat. Beautiful. Tuck the chin to chest, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Send your hips up and back for your first downward dog. Let's walk out the dog all the way to the tops of the feet. keeping the breath in motion. Inhaling and exhaling. And round the knees in a circle, one at a time. And switch. Feel the angst coming out of the ankles. And pause, bend both knees and straighten. Bend both knees and straighten. Last time, bend both knees and straighten. Beautiful. Look up and send the right foot forward. Flat the left knee down, untucking the toes. Once again, lifting the arms up. And this time we're going to take a twist to that right side. So we're doing some modifications to the Surya Namaskar just so that we can warm up and be ready for dancer's pose. However, the gist of it is the same. We're just adding a couple of twists and back bends so that we're really ready. Take a deep breath in. Bring the hands back up. And cactus the arms open, opening up that chest. Because dancer's pose will be a great chest opening pose too. And round the hands down. Beautiful. Tuck the back toes. Bring the left foot forward. Forward fold. Straighten out the knees as much as you can without rounding the back. And gently bring your nose closer to your knees. Crown of the head down to the mat. Take a deep breath in. Float the arms up. Arch back. Fingertips looking at each other. And then come back to standing. Round the hands in a nice big circle. Normally we just bring it down, but today I want us to open up that shoulder girdle, so I want you to round it and bring it to the side. Beautiful. How are you all? How are you all doing? I'm sorry, I'm so giddy today. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that we've made it to day 17. This is no small feat. So I'm happy you're here. I'm happy I'm here. Let's go for it. Take a deep breath in. Float the arms in to Namaste. Prayer pose in front of the heart. Pressing the thumbs into your heart. Tucking the chin to chest slightly. Feel your heartbeat as you sway your body back and forth. From the heel to the toes. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in and bring the arms up and back. Really straighten out your arms. Take a deep breath in and fold forward. Over your body for forward fold. Crown of the head looking down towards the mat. Straighten out the legs as much as you can. Relax your shoulders. Fingertips to the side of your feet. Breathe in and out and gently bring your nose closer to your knees. Beautiful. Bend the knees. Send the left leg back as far as you can. Untuck the toes. Round the hands in a circle and lift up. This time we're going to keep the palms together, and I just want you to arch back and bring your hands to heart center, and then extend the arms away and then twist towards your left, opening up your hands. Really push your hips down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands back up towards the ceiling and twist to the other side. Continue to engage the core. You can look back or look forward or to the side. You choose. Take a deep breath in And bring the arms up and plant the fingertips down. Beautiful. Tuck the back toes. Send the right foot back. You are now in plank. Really grip onto the floor with your fingers. Take a deep breath in. Knees down, hips back. Slide forward, keeping your elbows close to the side, 8-point pose. And lift up into cobra. Rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Really opening up that space in your heart for more love. Take a deep breath in. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. And send your hips up and back for downward dog. Stretching out your fingers, stretching out your arms. Enjoying this beautiful inverted V. Take a deep breath in. Send the left foot forward. Plant the right knees down, untucking the toes. Once again, let's lift up. Beautiful. Breathe in and out. And now let's cactus the arms down. And chin parallel to floor. Let's bring the arms in, palms facing your face, elbows touching. Lift the arms up higher. Once again, illuminating more stretching in the shoulders. And release the hands down. Tuck the back toes, send the left foot back. Take a deep breath in. And push back. And come back into plank. That was the wrong pose. Bring the left leg forward and then the right leg forward. And come into a forward fold. It's nice doing a practice, an art form, and a legacy such as yoga that has rights and wrongs and in between. It's good to know when you're off the path, and it's good to know that the path has many variants. So it's exciting because that's what human boundaries are about. Your limits and then your capacity. So I want you to straighten out your legs as much as you can, but your knees can definitely have a slight bend, and bring your nose closer to your knees. Take a deep breath in and float the arms up and back. And then come forward, standing nice and tall in high salutation. And once again, round the hands in a bigger circle, really expressing that shoulder girdle's potential. Back into mountain. Okay, so that was Surya Namaskar A. Let's go for Surya Namaskar B. We'll create some variations so that we can be prepared for dancer's pose. Okay, feet together. Take a deep breath in. And sit your hips down at the seat of your soul as you raise your arms up for chair. We've done this before. Remember, you have a couple of alternatives in chair. You can bring your arms straight forward or just bring your arms right at heart center. Wherever you are, make sure you're not leaning on one side of your hips. You're very centered and grounded. And at the same time, push your hips back and engage your core. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Your hands down to the mat in forward fold, stretching out your legs as much as you can without creating the curvature in your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Just kind of relax them, shake them out. Not necessarily roll them back and down, just kind of take out any tension, that's it. And head, crown of the head facing down towards the mat. Shake the head yes. And shake the head no.
And pause, bring your head down. Slowly bring your nose meticulously towards your knees. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in, flat back. You can keep your fingertips on the floor if you have the extension through the back. If not, just raise your hands onto your shins, crown of the head facing forward. Continue to engage the core, squeezing your belly button into your spine. Take a deep breath in, plant the hands down, send the right and left foot back. And here we'll go through chaturanga. So lean forward, squeezing the elbows to the side and lower down. Untuck the toes. Let's lift up for upward facing dog or cobra. Right now I'm in upward dog. And really create this beautiful back bend with your body. Take a deep breath in, tuck the chin to chest, and roll over your toes into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's do a little bit of movement in downward dog as we did before. So let's roll the ankles one at a time. And switch. Roll the ankles one at a time. And relax. From here, bicycle the legs all the way to the tops. And breathe. Continue to keep your fingers nice and long, your arms straight. And pause. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. And let's open the knees up to the side as we bend the knees and come back to dog. A little different from last time. Last time we kept the knees in and kind of put our torso on our thighs. But now we're opening up the knees to the side because we're going to need that hip opening feeling for dancer's pose. So let's open up the knees to the side and back. Beautiful. Back to this beautiful inverted V of downward dog, this restorative pose. From here, let's float the right leg all the way up. Now let's open up the hips. Once again, in preparation for dancer's pose, point the toes, bend the knee, and just allow your knee to come up to the ceiling. And release back into dog. Bring that right foot forward. Beautiful. Right foot planted forward. Lift up into warrior one as that back foot is pivoted to the side. Warrior one, I want you to square the hips to the front. And really trust that you are more than just a warrior. You're a lover. Bend the knees 90 degrees. From here, let's get some more preparatory movements for dancer by bringing the arms out to the side, interlocking the fingers if you can. If not, simply keep your hands on your hips. Do what feels comfortable. We're going to go into humble warrior. So I want you to arch back first, and then come all the way to the inside. And you may need to move the leg a little bit. That front leg, come on the inside of the front leg and just hold it. Make sure that your shoulders are not on top of the knee. You're holding your own disposition with the strength in your abdominals and your core and just breathing through abdominals and core. This is the same. You're holding your own disposition through the strength in your core and your balance and shoulders. Take a deep breath in, rise up, arch back, release the arms, and bring your hands down to the floor. Bring your right foot back. You are now in plank pose, head looking down towards the floor. Take your time to do this. Thank you all for joining. Lean forward, elbows tucked to the side, slowly lower down through chaturanga, untucking the toes. The chicken is out there watching. Actually, that's Feline. Yeah, that's her name.
Let's be like. We have 13, but I've named a couple of them. Take a deep breath in, and we are now in upward facing dog. Eli's like, what's going on here? You know? All right. Really arch back, opening those thyroid glands, and tuck the chin to chest. Tuck the back toes. You can tuck the back toes, or you can roll over your toes into downward dog. This beautiful inverted V. Keep your arms nice and straight. Take a deep breath in once again. If you need to make any adjustments to your downward dog, do so as we're about to prepare for three-legged dog. Take a deep breath in and float the left leg up, pointing the toes, and then open up the hip to the side. Bend the knees and allow your knee to come up towards the ceiling, and then straighten and bring that left foot through. Beautiful. That was kind of a hard stomp. All right, so pivot the right foot to the side, and the left leg is bent 90 degrees. Square the hips, and then I want you to lift both hands up and breathe. Beautiful. Once again, let's add in some movement that will help us out with dancer's pose. Cactus the arms down and open. And interlock the fingers, or bring your hands on your hip, or grab opposite elbows in the back. And let's come into humble warrior. Arch back, and then come on the inside of that left knee. Go as low as you can and continue to breathe and relax your mind. Take a deep breath in, rise up, release the fingers, come up and round the hands in a circle, plant both hands down, rotate the back feet, and bring the left foot back. Take a deep breath in, and lean forward, tucking the elbows into the side, go through chaturanga, untucking the toes, and lifting up for upward facing dog. Let's add in some movement as we move like a pendulum from side to side. And pause, look over the right shoulder, kind of open up the hips a little. And back, take a deep breath in, look over the left shoulder. And back. Beautiful. Roll over the toes or tuck the toes and come into downward dog. Beautiful. From here, look forward, bend the knees, hop or step up into halfway lift, flat back. Take a deep breath in, forward over, bow into your own body, bow into your own heart. Shake the head, yes. And shake the head, no. And breathe. All right. From here, sit the hips down, bring the arms up. Let's end it where we started. Chair pose. Take a deep breath in, squeeze the inner thighs together, rise up, and arch back. And float the hands down to the side. We did it. Take a deep breath in, and bring your hands to prayer pose. Come to the center of your mat. Pressing your thumbs into your sacrum. Why do I keep saying sacrum? Sternum. Sacrum is like all the way down here. Into your sternum. Breathe through it. Take a deep breath in. And then a relaxing breath out. Last one, take a deep breath in. More, a little more. Hold it. Relax the body. Relax the face. Relax the shoulders. And breathe out. Okay. We are here. Perhaps I took so long to get here is because dancer's pose is not an easy pose. It's not a beginner's pose. However, we're on day 17. So I think you're all prepared. And if you missed some of this and you're like, no, I'm not on day 17. I'm more like day 7 or day 1 or day 2. Wherever you're at, go back to the archives, check out the videos. Remember, I'm shooting here on Facebook and I'm also shooting on YouTube. And please check out the website for more additional services at YITDOTSFitness.com, knowing that YITDOTS is a full acronym using every single letter. Yoga is the dance of the soul. And it's appropriate that we do dancer's pose today. I'm shocked that we haven't. Well, I'm not too shocked. Like I said, it's not a beginner's pose. So not too shocked. However, this is where we're at. We're warmed up. We're warmed up. Let's stay warm. Let's go into dancer's pose. It's one of my favorites. It is one of my favorites. There was a performance maybe 15 years ago. And I think it was in underground Atlanta. And I was supposed to stand in dancer's pose. Well, not supposed to stand. I choreographed my own work. So I chose to start off in dancer's pose. However, the music would not work. So a pose that was supposed to be held for maybe 30 seconds, I ended up holding for at least 3 to 5 minutes, at least in my mind. They were trying to get the systems working, and because I was already in place, I didn't want to come out of character, and it was for me a great discipline. So I just stayed there, and the dance was taken over by spirit. I hesitate to say that because I don't know how people feel about these things. There's a certain point where you remove yourself from a dance and it is done, it's danced by something outside of you. And when that happens for me, God help me, that's good, because I can only do so much as a dancer. So I'm happy when spirit's like, you know what, Tracy, sit down for a minute. I've got this. We saw the leg thing you did last week and this week. Now sit down. Let me show them something they haven't seen. So I'm always pleased when that happens. So that was a beautiful moment. Because I stood still, I was able to fly. So that was a great moment. All right. Once again, let's do this. All right, we're standing at the top of our mat. So I actually can turn this way. I'll start this way first. And there's so many ways to do dancer's pose. I'm trying to figure out where to start with you. Let's bring the arms up and really plant your feet down in the four corners. Once again, when I say four corners, I'm talking about the pinky toe, the big toe, the two sides of the heels. I really want you to plant your feet down and keep yourself really grounded while you lift up from the kneecap so you can become extra tall. All right, from here, bring the hands back and around. And then I want you to take your right foot, your left foot, and you're gonna bring it up and you're gonna hug it in. We're gonna hug it in, lift it up higher so we can really activate the quadriceps in the right foot, the right leg, and I want you to turn the ankles around. So this is a balance pose, so it's gonna take you finding that dristi point, that point that is not moving, turn the opposite way with the foot, to focus on. And you will have your ankle or foot, some part of your leg in hand, so we wanna kind of get it ready. And release. Now, same hand, same foot, you're gonna hold onto the outside of the leg, or you may choose the inside. But if you choose it, when you choose the hand, I want your thumbs to be facing that way. So think of it as thumbs up. So you're coming, let me see how I can do this. Your hands are here and your hands are coming down. So your thumbs are facing that way, not forward. So the radius is facing towards the back. All right, so you're going to choose whether you grab the inside or the outside of the leg. The goal would be for you to grab the inside so that you keep your hips aligned with each other. We don't want the hips to flare out, even though they will flare out anyways. You want to make sure you have this understanding that your goal is to anchor it all in. Not perfection, just a level of precision, just to understand what the motive is. So the knees are aligned with each other, and you want that left knee, the one that you're holding, to be pointed down towards the mat. Find that drishti point. We're gonna bring the right hand up. There goes the fan again. Bring the right hand up. And then you're gonna push, kick that left heel into the left hand, and we're going to lean forward, but at the same time lifting up. And if this was bow pose, we would come down. And release. Oh my goodness. I know I say oh my goodness for every pose, but this one is a really, because I have like a shoulder impingement that I got from a spin class that I was in. I was on the bicycle. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a spin class. You're like dancing it up, and it's like, you know, you're on the bicycle moving, and then you're doing all this dancing, and I'm like, it was a little much for me. So doing that is a great stretch. However, I can really feel that left shoulder. So you're gonna, and it's not that it hurts. However, I feel that it's definitely different for my right shoulder. So we're gonna try this on the other side. Today's gonna be a long class. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to make it really concise. However, I can see it, I can feel it already, the length of it. I think most of it is done though. I think we're on that. We're on the runway. All right, let's go for it. So I showed you the difference between bow and dancer's pose, or dancing Shiva, or king dancer's pose. These are the different ways that it's called. Remember, with dancers, you're lifting up and you're stretching, and then with bow pose, you're going down sort of at like the middle of the nose, and the arms are coming forward here. Sometimes those poses are confused. However, remember, dancer is lifting, and then bow, it's like a bow and arrow, B-O-W. So it's like, it's actually called standing bow. So the laying down bow we've done before. I believe we've done it before. Well, perhaps we haven't done it. I've done it in other videos. You can check out on YITDOTS Fitness. You can check out on YITDOTSFitness.com or YITDOTS.com. Remembering that YITDOTS is an acronym that stands for Yoga is the Dance of the Soul. So you can check that out. All right, it's actually on the homepage. Is it on the homepage now? I think it is on the homepage. I change the pages often. It's most likely in one of the videos, you'll see it. Okay, so here we go. I want you to do it on the other side, standing at the middle of your mat. We're gonna flow both hands up and arch back. Feet together, and bring the hands round to the side. Beautiful. Let's lift the hand back up to the ceiling, and then we're going to bring that right knee up and hug it in with both hands. Once again, twirling the ankle. This is a great time to find that drishti point. There's no better time than once that foot leaves the floor, you are balancing. And then let's switch directions. What makes balancing a little bit easier in dancer's pose, the more you kick into your foot, kick into that hand, the easier it is to balance. So just remember that. You'll feel it too. So remember, this is not a watching video, this is a doing video. Let's send that right foot back. Remember, you can hold the outside or the inside. Wherever you hold, once again, that radius, sort of like you're serving someone food, and then you bring the hands down, and the hand comes right inside of it. So that thumb should be sort of like you're massaging the bottoms of your feet with your thumb. Okay, raising the arm up, the left arm, take a deep breath in, because the reason you want the arm, the fingers face, the radius facing in the back, it's because you don't want the shoulders to cave in you want them to open up because it is a chest opening pose. So take a deep breath in and kick into the hand as you lean forward, finding that drishti point, lifting up, keeping that knee, the hip, everything close. And keep raising up as you keep kicking in. Really extend the fingertips away from you and release. Beautiful. Okay, that's it. All right, so Harmony is calling me. I don't know how she got through because my phone's on Do Not Disturb and it's also on silent. So, but I do like Apple for that because if someone calls you several times, they assume it's an emergency, so it allows it to go through. And there's no better emergency than my daughter. So I'm happy that she's calling. I know she's headed to work. My daughter's a lifeguard. Yeah, she's saving lives. You know, I'm saving lives on the mat. However, she's saving lives in the water. I have not mentioned this beautiful, what am I using? I'm using a filter. Yeah, that's what it is. This beautiful filter I have today, rainbows. I think it's good because if you're looking at the dancer's pose, it's sort of like a beautiful arc, like a rainbow. So I hope you guys are enjoying these filters that I'm testing out every day because I'm having fun testing them out. So let's go into that. So that's dancer's pose. So let's start the dance. Okay, let's YITDOTS it. So for the first part of the YITDOTS, we're actually the first pose will be coming into it because there is an elegance, a beauty, a dance in getting into dancer's pose. So we're going to use that as part of our movements. You like? Okay. All right. If you like it, write it in the comment box or send me a message at YITDOTSFitness.com. I want to hear your inputs. And if you change it up a little bit, I want to continue to see how you use this in your videos and the things that you show me so that you can be one of the people that wins YITDOTS Fitness Dance Yoga Challenge, one pose, one purpose. I definitely want you to be one of the people that wins. So keep sending it in. I look forward to seeing it. Okay, here we go. Adjust your clothes, adjust your body, engage the core. Take a deep breath in, rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. So we're starting the choreography. Let's go for it. So let's start it off by sending the left leg back. You want a slight bend in that standing knee. And then we're going to take, well, let's do this again. So the left leg is back, both arms are up. Keep the right arm up as you bring that left arm onto the left foot. And then slowly lean forward as you kick the foot into your hands, into dancers. Square the hips as much as you can, and release. Whoo! Okay, I love dancer's pose. I love all balance poses because they invoke a certain level of focus. So I'm sorry I'm ignoring you guys just a little bit. However, if I look, I may fall. And that's a good thing about yoga too. So there's different levels. So if you look down, depending on the balance pose, easier. If you look up, way harder. If you close your eyes, way harder. Imagine if you were blindfold, way harder. So there are different levels. So, and if I can move my head and do all these things and still balance, of course, this is a different challenge. So there are different ways to work up. And this dancer's pose actually has different levels that I'm not doing because I don't actually have the range of motion. So what I'm showing you with the arms holding here, the full dancer's pose, the expression would be the arms overhead, and you would capture the arms, capture the feet with the hands. That's a doozy. I don't have it. However, if you do have it, I do want to see it in your videos. I definitely want to see it if you're expressing the full dancing Shiva pose. I want to see how it looks. Okay, let's do this. Other side, we're still on pose number one. Squeezing the belly button to the spine. Take a deep breath in. Bring the arms up. Send the right foot back. And then we're going to bring that right hand on the inside of the right foot. This is what allows the hips to stay more square. And we're going to lean forward. And if you want, you can take a dristi. You can use your thumb and pointer finger touching together. This can also help with your focus and your intention. Take a slight bend in that standing knee and lift that back leg up as you continue to send that energy back towards the hand. Engage the core. Whew. Okay, that was it. I'm sorry I ended on engage the core because I was falling. I was about to engage the floor. So engage the core. All right, we're adding on. So we're there. We're gonna dance the dristi. That's the next pose. And then the final pose will be us coming out of it into dance. So we'll see all that in action. So this is a very beautiful movement. I hope you're enjoying the strength in it. I hope you're ready for the meditation that is inspired from it. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands to where you find they're comfortable, wherever you want your starting point to be. And breathe in. And bring the arms up. Send that left foot back. Really opening up the chest. Slowly bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot as you bring that left hand in the dristi already. So it's ready and it has something beautiful to do while you prepare to get into the movement. And then send the energy of your heel, your foot into that left hand and lift the leg up as you lift the chest up. And we go into that second pose. And back. And back. And back. And release. Okay, so we're kind of playing around with sort of like bubbles. And back. And there's many different ways we can do the hands. We can also wave the hands, and we've done that several times within movements. Not that it gets tired for me. I can do it within many movements. One thing I love about dance, as a dancer, you have 2 hands, 2 feet, and sometimes everyone's different. They may not have those things. We're all gonna sort of do the same dance. We're just gonna have a different way of expressing it because at the same time, we're working with 2 hands and 2 feet and the torso. It's like the structure is the same. So how you configure it will be different. Yet there's going to be things that carry on. That's why dance is like, oh yeah, that looks like the Tootsie Roll, or oh, that looks like the Nene, or this looks, they're going to have some similarities because we're using a similar framework. All right, let's go for it. Other side. Okay. Whew. All right, squeezing the belly button to the spine, really engaging the core. Take a deep breath in. Send that right leg back, arms come up. Bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Finding that dristi, pushing into the hand, leaning forward at the same time lifting up. And release. Yes, delicate. Bubbles, playing with bubbles. There's something beautiful about, I mean, you might look at it like, oh, you're smoking. I mean, you can. I mean, you do whatever works for you. However, think about this feeling of blowing bubbles, the delicacy of a bubble, or that feeling of play, or doing something that doesn't do anything, just gives you a level of simple joy. You know, it's not a PlayStation or VR, it's just simple joy. And sometimes we need those moments. Okay, let's add on. So we're going to go through the whole motion again, and then we'll add on the last movement. Take a deep breath in. And remember, you can start off here, which I think is cool. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm singing that song in my head that I mentioned to you guys a couple of days ago. All right, take a deep breath in and bring the arms down and around for a prayer pose. Really stretch up through the rib cage. Take a deep breath in. You can actually make both hands into a mudra. Start with the left hand with the mudra, and then once you get to the foot, you can release it. And lift. Let me see this. Ooh, I like this. Let's see how this works. We'll make the arms go in this yin-yang. Follow me, guys. I'm telling you that it works. It works. Okay, so you have to see my daughter when we're performing together. It's like an all-on creative flow. All right, so we're here. Slight bend in that right knee, and then the left leg comes up as you bring the hand around, and you lift up, keeping the hips squared as much as you can, pushing that foot into the hand, and blow. And release, 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 release. I know that looked a little crazy. But we need a little crazy. I mean, it can't all be delicate and sane. And I know I almost fell off the mat. However, the mat is small, and I told you, we're always trying to push boundaries. So try that anyways. So we're here, we're releasing, release, 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 hold. It looks better without the foot in my hand. Try that. We're doing the other side. Okay? Okay, we're here. And I have a mic, guys. So whatever I do today, you have to be forgiving. I mean, I'm using a mic. You gotta, this is my first time having a mic, so you gotta be happy with the improvements that you see. Okay. Are we ready? Write down in the chat box if you're ready, because we're moving forward and I want to see you guys moving through this. This is not a watching video, this is a feeling thing. And in order to feel it, if you want to know how to do the thing, you got to do the thing. That's what they say. So that's where we're at. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale into namaste. And let's go. Send the right leg back. Float the arms up and over the head. Drishti point. Hands separate on the inside of the foot. And kick the foot into the hand. Lifting that heart chakra up and bubbles. Send it away. Blow bubbles and release, 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 release. Okay. All right. Let's go to the other side. We are in dancer's pose today. We've gotten to day 17. This is a landmark. Enjoy it, dance through it. Remember to continue to send your videos through YITDOTS Fitness. Some of you are asking where you send the videos. You actually send it through my website, and you send it through the contact page and just put the header. This is the video for one pose, one challenge. At one pose, one purpose. And you'll be able to, get put into the people that I start looking at and seeing who's actually doing this to their fullest. Okay, let's do this. I talk a lot, so I get a little stumbly. All right, are we ready? Let's go. Take a deep breath in. Let's start with the hands here. Take a deep breath in. And bring the hands into namaste. Prayer pose. Chin parallel to floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Float the hands back. The left foot comes back. Arms come up to the ceiling. Find that drishti point and bring the hand on the inside of the foot and then kick the left foot into the left hand. Continue to keep the hips as squared as possible. Get into the pose as fully as you can and then blow bubbles. Blow bubbles. Blow bubbles and release and relax. Release and relax, release, relax, and here. So it's 3 times and we stop on 4. So 4 is here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope I got that count right. You know how I am with my counts. I kind of lose myself. So I hope that's right. Okay, let's do it on this side, and then we're going to do it one more time on both sides, and we'll call it a day and get into our meditative state. Today's meditation will be done in a yogic squat. So if you're not able to do that, just simply sit on the floor and find your peace. Okay. Adjust your clothes, anything that's necessary, and let's go for it. Tailbone down, take a deep breath in, and bring the arms up and through next to heart center, pressing your thumbs into your sternum. Breathe in, send the right leg back, float the arms around and forward, and really lift up past your rib cage and breathe. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in, slowly move the hand, both in that dristi, both in that mudra, finding your dristi, holding the inside of the foot, then raise that leg higher by kicking the foot into the palm of the right hand. High as you can, square the hips, and blow bubbles. Blow bubbles. Blow bubbles, and release the leg forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. I really like this one. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but okay, let me do the other side. We're gonna do it one more time on each side. Just know that I think we're doing good. Now, if you like it, you let me know, and if not, we have a whole list of YITDOTS that we are doing for an assorted number of yoga poses. In fact, I've told you this before, all yoga poses have this potential for YITDOTS. And even with this one, as you notice with dancers, we're actually using the getting into the pose as the first movement because there's a suppleness to it that we want to accentuate. We want to see it. We want to feel it. And then once we're in it, just that simple blowing of the bubble is still just the pose. And then the last part of it is not the pose, it's the coming out and flying into the next dance. So if you can imagine that with so many other poses, you're in a good place, knowing that everything can be YITDOTS. All right, let's go for it. Okay, standing somewhere in the middle of our mat, feet together, take a deep breath in, float the arms up, and slowly bring your hands down to heart center. Smile. It changes things. From here, take a deep breath in, and on your own pace, because I'm not going to say it with you, you'll flow through this. Breathe in, breathe out. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Imagine that longer. Imagine it repeated. Imagine the counts more. This is what gets you into that zone. Let's go to the other side. Tell me how you're feeling about this. How did it go for you? Are you feeling the movement? Are you able to get into dancer's pose? If you're not able to kick the foot up all the way, you're still here to do dancer's pose. You simply holding onto that foot on the inside or the outside. So when you hold the outside, the tendency for your hip to come out more will happen. However, it's not, I don't want to say it's not wrong. There are just better ways to do it. So you want to work structurally with your body. When you hold it on the inside, with the thumbs kind of massaging the bottoms of your feet, your shoulders are naturally opened. So I want you to feel the difference in that. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that chest opener. So you can simply hold it here, and this is fine. Even if it doesn't feel good on your shoulders to hold it with your palm, with your thumbs facing up, you can have your thumbs facing down and simply hold it here and do the dancer's pose from here, and then release it from there. All of that is a part of the progression. So try it at your level. Send me the videos. It's not about the videos that have the best, no. It's about the person that's really feeling it and taking YITDOTS to where it hasn't gone before. That's what I'm looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay, let's go for it. Last side, and then we get into our meditative state. Which I'm happy about because I have food in the oven and I really want to eat. Yeah, I have some fish in the oven. And it's from the Buddhist temple, and I'm really looking forward to eating as much as I can anyways. Most of it will probably be given to the animals outside. Still, what I can eat, I want to eat. So let's get started. Okay, are we ready? Take a deep breath in, float the arms up and down to heart center. And at your own pace, be your best. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's that slow and fast that invokes stillness. Because there's a time to move fast and a time to slow down. We did it, guys. This is the time to slow down. Okay, I hope that worked for you. Please come on your mat. Like I said, we will be in a yogic squat garland pose. I'll show you what it looks like. So it's going to be a big hip opener. So your legs are wider than your hip, and then your knees are turned out. Your toes are turned out. Don't allow the knees to cave in. I want you to open them. Really open them. And then your elbows will be on the inside, and your feet don't have to be so far. They can actually be somewhat under your hips. And if this is too much for you, simply sit on a block or some kind of bolster. That would help. You can just put like a cushion or something underneath you and it will hold you just fine. Okay, and if you don't have that, please sit on the floor. Okay, so tucking the chin to chest. Sometimes it's so important to create a way to get mindful through a movement, a posture, an asana that causes you to just hold space. Because there's no way you're going to sleep in a yogic squat. So this definitely asks you to be very present and very mindful. So I want you to have the elbows on the inside, hands in prayer pose, really push the knees out and breathe, tucking that chin to chest. We're breathing in and out through the nose. You can do whatever breathing technique works. You can do the box breathing that we did last week, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and then hold out for 4, and then repeat. So I want you to choose how you breathe. The pose in itself is already enough instruction within what we're doing. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in 3 more times. And then from here, take a deep breath in. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, rise up. Point your toes forward and arch back. We did it. Day 17 is completed. I once again appreciate you. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for a much easier pose. Like I said, this is sort of advanced level, depending on how long you've been doing yoga, how long you've been practicing dancer's pose. Still, I want you to keep trying it, because I tell people I didn't start off flexible in yoga, and I stopped saying it because I noticed nobody actually believes me. It just sounds like, and then when I say I'm a dancer, it sounds like something else, because I'm not a traditional dancer. I was just someone that liked to feel myself move in time. So I wasn't like ballet trained in that way. So it wasn't that either. It was, and I didn't always like yoga. So I think this is something else to mention. Yoga was way too still for me. Like when I practiced yoga, it bothered me how present it made me. Like each pose, I had to become liking that. It was something that really, really bothered me. And now it's just something that I embrace. It's like the reason I do yoga. I hear things like yoga butt or yoga bodies. I'm like, oh, I didn't even consider you could get a good body through yoga. I entered into it because of the beauty of the poses, and I stayed in it because of the powerful mindfulness practice it is. And in between that, everything just comes. And I want you to know you definitely can do this. It definitely will work for you. You definitely will have a practice that takes you off the mat throughout your life, throughout your thoughts. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy day 17. Share, like the video, and send me your comments, and continue to visit the website, YITDOTSFitness.com. I want to hear from you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste.